Hello everyone. This year's IAE we even get paints for 890, as far as I know the first time ever that we get paints for her. These are my prices with my local tags. Penumbra paint $20, Skyline paint $20, Meridian paint $26. And if you buy all three of them, you are saving 20%. Yeah.
I'll take 5.
I know.
I would like to point out those paints are once again just color swaps. Take existing 4 colors, replace with 4 new colors, profit. Those are not new skins, not new decals, just easy color swaps. And for this almost no effort, this is just way too much money. We could easily do this ourselves with the hex code color editor. I will show you now the paints in game. Please watch my outro. I'm already saying my goodbye. Auf Wiedersehen!
And you hear the thunder, and you're standing up, instead of running for cover. And there's a new dawn coming over the water, seeing we're the ones, knowing there's no other. Would you be the last benevolent mouthpiece? Heaven knows we need you. Of a world that's coming down, standing up on our own for the things we know. Raise a voice, hear it echo. Raise a voice, hear it echo. Everything we're fighting, let it go, letting it all go. Always have a reason for something to believe in. You never know, you never know. When the sky goes dark and you hear the thunder, and you're standing up instead of running for cover. And there's a new dawn coming over the water, saying we're the ones, saying there's no other. Would you be the last benevolent mouthpiece? Heaven knows we need you now. Would you be the most beautiful consequence of a world that's coming down, standing up on our own for the things we know? Raise a voice, hear it echo. Raise a voice, hear it echo. We know where we come from, we know where we've been. Takes a whole lot of broken hearts to change everything. Coming so far to be here again. But there's a new song singing, can't you hear it? Would you be the last benevolent mouthpiece? Heaven knows we need you now. Would you be the most beautiful consequence of a world that's coming down? Would you be the last benevolent mouthpiece? Heaven knows we need you now. Would you be the most beautiful consequence of a world that's coming down, standing up on our own?
We showed off a video with Nate Dearsley demonstrating a hex code paint editor, a tool that was originally designed internally for artists on the ship team in order to help, color and paint stuff. But it was said during the thing that, this would be a great tool to give to org leaders and stuff. They could give out their hex codes to their players and all have a unified paint scheme and stuff like this. So the idea itself is not dead.
It was never dead.
Okay.
Yeah, it's absolutely something we still want to be able to support and give players the freedom to make their ships more their ships.
But it's pretty cool. So yeah, so for what will be happening going forward is now we'll be able to roll out different sort of first of all the skins that we've already promised, but probably some new ones, and at some point we'll allow tools for people to be able to sort of do their own paint job. And we've got a fairly efficient way of storing the data, so it's not going to be a huge amount. I think the paint is it a 512?
What, for the
paint job? Yeah, I can't remember what the texture size is.
Well, it depends on what decal you're putting on, but most of the decals themselves are they're like 512.
Well, I'm not talking about the decal, I'm talking about the paint.
The whole paint? I think it's a 1024, isn't it? I don't know. Yeah, 1024.
All right.
So essentially the process kind of begins with we want to get these pre-configured schemes done. So you could, for example, go off and go, oh, you know what, I want a NASA themed kind of skin, or I want a District 9 themed skin, or I want a pink Hello Kitty themed skin. And then essentially we as artists create basically the material files. They're tiny in memory. They're so small that we can have like hundreds of them if we want to, because they're all calling the same textures. That's what's done under the hood, okay? Once those material files are created and obviously named accordingly and sanity checked that the emblem is called emblem and the submaterial ID is called submaterial ID 1, 2, and 3, they have to be the same names. That's then handed to tech design to then kind of set that up with the loadout that they're putting together for that ship. Further forward, we want these kind of paint configurations to become hex codes. So if you're in like a guild of 20 players, and the clan leader said, all right, this is our paint scheme, there's going to be no like guessing work. Like you get the hex code, you put it in there, and it automatically will say, oh, you know what, we've got matte black against yellow against pink, something crazy, and every ship in your fleet, you can put that hex code on and it will automatically go into that color configuration. So there's a lot of kind of cool things, and as artists we do this stuff all day every day, and we were just like, why wouldn't we give the end user this functionality? So that's the overall plan. There is a lot of kind of very things you have to be careful with when you're authoring the shaders for this stuff, so it can accommodate these options, but we're on top of that, and that's kind of, yeah, it's good.
Hey, you're still here. You might want to join me on Twitter. My Twitter account is Camural_SC.